Hey everyone, hello and welcome to another Fun Fact Friday. I am Dr. Sam here at University Animal Clinic. So I want to talk about what can sometimes be a sensitive subject, but I think it's really important that we talk about it for our pets, and that is their weight. We are seeing a rise in pets that are overweight and obese, just like in people, unfortunately. And I mainly don't want to focus on kind of that's happening, but I want to focus on the detrimental effects it can have on our pets' health, just so that people understand that just like in us, our pets, when they're overweight, can have side effects that can have long-lasting effects for them. And there's a couple that we can talk about. One, in our dogs specifically, one of the main ones we see, which is arthritis. In our large breed dogs, if they become overweight, and they're so big, they can be really difficult to get up, move around. They become more painful from their arthritis that they may have had anyway, but if they were a little bit lighter, they'd be able to get up and get around a little bit better. In our small dogs, people don't think about them as often when we're talking about weight because we can pick them up even if they're overweight. But they can have what's called luxating patellas, which is where the little kneecap pops in and out of the socket because it's too shallow. And when that happens, when they're overweight, this can be painful. When they're a little bit lighter, it pops in and out and it goes back in. It's not as big of a deal. We can sometimes manage it with some medication alone. But when they're overweight, this can be unable to manage that pain with just medication. And sometimes they need surgery to get that knee to stay into the socket and prevent them from being in pain. So keeping them at a nice, normal body condition can help with that. In our brachycephalic breeds, so those breeds that have the pushed-in faces that we all love, Frenchies, Pugs, Bulldogs, Boston Terriers, those guys, when they are overweight, they can have trouble breathing. Their airway's already so short and pushed in, and it's already really difficult for them to be able to breathe, but you add on that extra pounds as well, and those guys can have a lot of trouble breathing. They make a lot of noise and snoring day and night with their breathing when they're overweight. And our large breed dogs, they can get something called laryngeal paralysis, which sounds really scary, but it really just makes them have difficulty breathing. So it can be compounded when they're overweight as well. Of course, we are here in Florida at University Animal Clinic, so heat is an issue. And of course, when our pets are overweight, they are more difficult to tolerate that heat. Again, start panting, and if they have difficulty breathing, you can see how this can compound these issues. And then just like in people, we can see things like liver disease and high blood pressure, hypertension, those kinds of things in our dogs when they get overweight. Diabetes in our dogs is usually more of a genetic issue and less compounded by weight, but in our cats, diabetes is seen specifically linked to our overweight cats. And when we get some of those cats to lose weight, we can actually get them in their diabetes into remission. They don't need insulin anymore, and they can just be on a weight management food to keep that under control. Also in our cats, people don't think about it, but cats can get arthritis as well and be very painful. Usually this comes into us at the hospital here as my cat's going out to the litter box. They must have a urinary tract infection. But later on we find with testing that there's no infection in the urine. It turns out the kitty's just too painful to get in and out of the litter box, and so they just decided to urinate on the floor or wherever's easier because they're just too painful to get in and out of the box. And it's arthritis doing it, and of course add that weight on top of arthritis and that can compound the issue. I think what most people find the most difficult to think about is that a small amount of extra weight to what their normal body conditioning score should be puts our pets into that overweight category, and that's what's so difficult. It doesn't take much. You may only be overweight by a pound or two, but that adds up for a tiny little, say, Maltese that only weighs, say, 10 pounds. Overweight and obesity, overweight is 10% of their body weight over what they're supposed to be. And obesity is 20. So if you think about a 20-pound dog, that's only 4 or 5 pounds more than they're supposed to be before they're considered obese. And then that's when those problems arise. So talk to your vet on how you can tell whether your pet needs to lose weight or not. I know it's a hard conversation to have. We don't love having them, but we want your pet to be healthy. We want your pets to be with you as long as possible. And this is one of the easy things we can do because oftentimes it's some exercise and a diet change, and we can help with that. There's some great foods out there now formulated specifically to help our pets' metabolism and to help our pets lose weight without them, just feeling deprived. like they're not getting any more cookies. So if you have questions about your pet's weight, please leave them in the comments below. Direct message me here at University Animal Clinic. I'd love to answer them. If you have ideas for the next Fun Fact Friday, please leave those in the comments below. Give this video a like and a share. Share it with your friends that are struggling with their pets and their weight. And please get this information out there. The more pets we can help, the better. And we will see you next Friday.